I am Ammon, with a purpose in my heart. Left my brothers behind to play a different part in the land of Lamanites, where shadows fill the night. I serve the mighty King under stars shining bright. Every order I obeyed, tended to the sheep, but danger loomed around us, made my brothers weep. Thugs came creeping closer, hearts were filled with dread, but I stood firm and ready, with courage in my head. With my sling I faced the night, defended what was right. For the King and all his kin, I would fight and never sin. With my sword I cut the chains of fear that gripped their veins. For in the darkest hour I found my strength, my power. The hands of foes lay scattered, my fellow servants stared. In the King's great hall, their fear was laid bare. But I took to the stables with a humble heart. Little did I know the King would play his part. An hour passed in silence, the air was thick with fate. Then I stepped before him, my heart began to race. Yes, King, how can I serve? My voice rang out so clear, but in his eyes I saw a spark, a hint of awe and fear. Ammon, you are a god, the King proclaimed with awe. But I'm just a man, a servant to the law. Down they fell before me, the cord upon the ground. In that moment of stillness, the truth was finally found. The queen was near to panic, but a maid stood tall and true. They're not dead, they're with the Lord. The faithful words broke through. The King awoke with wonder, his spirit now set free. That day the hearts were changed, in his love we found a decree. With my sling I faced the night, defended what was right. For the King and all his kin, I would fight and never sin. With my sword I cut the chains of fear that gripped their veins. For in the darkest hour I found my strength, my power. I am Ammon, a servant, a follower of light. In the land of Lamanites I stood for what is right. With the King and his people we rose hand in hand. In faith we found our freedom, united we would stand. In the shadows of the past they buried the pain, once warriors driven by the blood-soaked rain. But the light of truth broke through their darkened ways. They took a stand, vowed to end the violent days. With the sling I faced the night, defended what was right. For the King and all his kin, I would fight and never sin. With my sword I cut the chains of fear that gripped their veins. For in the darkest hour I found my strength, my power. Oh, Anti-Nephi lay hearts made anew. With every sword they laid down they found what was true. In the face of their brothers they chose love instead. With a courage so profound they faced the dread. The bitter winds of anger howled through the night as the brothers drew near ready to fight. But the converts stood still with peace in their souls, for the gift of forgiveness was worth more than gold. With my sling I faced the night, defended what was right. For the King and all his kin, I would fight and never sin. With my sword I cut the chains of fear that gripped their veins. For in the darkest hour I found my strength, my So remember this story, let it echo and sing of forgiveness and hope, and the joy that it brings. In the tale of the brave who chose peace over a fight, the legacy of love shines forever bright.